backbone of hip-hop was show and prove. You know, like a cipher is meant as show and prove. A battle's meant as show and prove. You know, and show and prove almost means now what you have around your neck or what you have on your teeth or what you're wearing. You know, that proves you to be this image of a rapper. And there's a problem with that.
Are you ready for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, go!
Okay, let's begin.
To hip-hop's honest-to-goodness birth probably around like 1975. What followed was a stream of cassettes, house parties, block jams, breakdance battles, separated into two styles around New York City, which were Chicano and Moreno style. Moreno referring to black, which how black breakdancers dance, which was more on the floor movement. And Chicano style, how Mexican breakdancers dance, which was more top-heavy, which is influenced more so by samba. The MC evolving from something more behind the DJ to being the feature, and thus eventually becoming the spoiled brat of hip-hop culture. Graffiti being pushed and pushed and pushed out into the light by later documentaries such as Style Wars and earlier incidences such as the train bombings around New York City by Zodiac, Taki 183, Mike Hayes, and you know other famous writers. Coke 2 really pushed hip hop into a forelight. It was the idea that hip hop became this culture that impinged upon your vision yet made you curious because it was something you had never seen before.
I think that if you get a chance to know hip-hop, then you know that it appreciates diversity and culture and respect and peace and not, violence or anything like that. So I think if everybody knew about what hip-hop really was, a lot more people would support it like I do.
Because over the years, hip-hop, like real hip-hop, has just kind of like, the knowledge of it has been lost. And so whatever is mainstream now, whoever is rapping now, like Akon or Little John or whoever, that's considered hip-hop. And people that dance to that think that's hip-hop. So, like, it's not really that they think it's real hip-hop. It's more like they're being ignorant to what the difference between, like, mainstream and hip-hop.
Like in the radio in the suburbs, B96 and Kiss FM and all that, they're playing the same playlist over and over, and then the music itself is so generic these days, and the lyrics, it's either about guns, violence, sex, girls, those are the, so generic topics. It's like, sure, it's, fun to listen to sometimes, but it's got no substance to it. When you listen to hip-hop music, actually, it's got, most of the time it's got, a story behind it, or it's got, competition or your struggles or something. It's got a story that you can listen to. It's kind of cool, especially with guys, MCs rapping.
Shall I join the hypocrites or side with the suckers by choice? It makes no difference that you're a product of environment. It's just coincidence. The world's a violent place, baby. There ain't no more innocence or civil men of penitence. Just ignorance. Cats don't know right from wrong. They mimic shit they see on TV or hearing a song. What the
Soldier boy, I been the hoe. Why me crank it? Why me roll? Why me crank that soldier boy? That Superman, that hoe. Now why me crank that soul? Now why me crank that soul? Now why me?
I think hip hop went wrong at the Jiggy era. It's not to say that MCs like Mace weren't talented. It's just that, they took that braggadocio, that bravado, and pushed it further, breaking point, which is what you have now, where, you get a song made about nothing from a beat that's made on a cell phone. Soldier Boy, Crank That Soldier Boy, he made the beat in 15 minutes on Fruity Loops, and anybody can reproduce it. It's so easy, and that's the problem. Skill is the other big issue, where skill didn't become didn't become the prevalent and driving force. It became how you looked, the look that went with your sound, and everything else was secondary. We're like, you get rappers now that as opposed to rhyming something, they'll put an expletive in.
Let me give you rap for just a minute in grammar. Take your stupid ass out of illiterate manners. I make it undeclarative, keep you all accurate, and switch it from the past tense like it was a transitive. Too much to holler but can't pronounce. All I'm trying to do is put some commas in my bank account. Let's get some capital to get about the lowercase. Money is the subject but the verb gotta coordinate. Yo Gregory, I don't think they getting me. These flows are fucked, need to get out the parentheses. And you quick, put your life in fragments. Bend your neck back like an iron talent. Don't get open with me, rapper, I can see demise. The flow will give you colons the size of some eyes. Piping up yourself, keep trifling, I guess it's ciphering. Typing, that'll switch you up like a hyphen. Bring it to your bastards all ill, gruff for real. I hang over your head like an astronaut Tilda. Copy is the noun, destroy is the verb. Compliment them both and boys turn to girls. CPD the acronym, ill could be the synonym. When I'm in the booth, I'm the present like infinitive. The adjectives to back the kid are endless. I'm serious, period. Call that my sentence. Yeah.
It's all about individuality. It's all about being creative. It's all about doing your own thing. And that's what I liked about it because, like, at first I hated it, like it was so unstructured that I didn't know what to do. But after a while, you realize that it's all attitude. It's all your style, and you need to find that style. That's what I like so much about breaking.
Mainstream hip hop is there's a lot of catchy stuff out there on the radio, but as far as it goes, it's just catchy. There's no hip hop substance. You gotta have good lyrics, and you gotta be sending a positive message, or at least not sending a negative message. And a lot of this mainstream hip hop is sending negative messages out there, which contributes to the negative image that the public sees hip hop as. So I wish that more real hip hop would be on the airwaves. But if people like mainstream, then they like it, and who can blame them, because some of it is catchy.
I've seen this culture change so drastically, remold itself, recoup itself. I've seen artists come and go and then reappear suddenly. And the one thing I have noticed above all else is that hip hop has this wonderful idea that it will survive, that it will survive no matter what. So the mistake or the diversions that I talk about is all a part of hip hop's evolution. I may not appreciate it as much as some people out here because I have my reservations concerning it. But the thing is that when it boils down to what is important, what it boils down to it is that I think people need to know their history with regards to this art. And do not mistake it because it is an art. They need to know where this has come from. You'll get an idea of where it's headed. Because the old adage still speaks. If you do not know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. So therefore, some of the mistakes in hip-hop cannot afford to be repeated. We cannot afford to lose more people to senseless violence. If people pass on, rest in peace Dilla, rest in peace Freaky Ta, so on and so forth, rest in peace DJ Prism, rest in peace C's1 of Self X. But, we cannot afford to have people gunned down unnecessarily or to lose their lives necessarily, all for the sake of a culture, of a square linoleum, 2 speakers, 2 turntables, a mixer, a mic, and some paint, which is where this all came from. We can't afford to have that happen anymore. So therefore, I would reiterate over and over and over again, know where this artist came from, know where it's headed, know where you stand, know what you're listening to, and know what these artists are saying to you. Because it is then and there that you can decide where you wish for hip-hop to take you. Hip-hop is not just some amalgamous art form living anonymously somewhere. It is something that lives, moves, breathes, because you are living, moving, breathing. So therefore, let hip-hop move with you and change it from your personal square of the earth by learning about where it came from and hopefully steering it in the right direction. And above all else, peace.